The misconceptions that we British have about Australia are many, and many of them are very deep-rooted indeed. I dare say that many of you thought that Australians spoke English, that English was the national language. Well, in fact, it isn't. The Australians speak Strine. They've been speaking it for years, but only lately has it achieved academic recognition, and has anyone started actually writing it down. The fact that it has achieved that recognition is very largely due to the efforts of one man, Professor Afferbeck Lauder. Now, for reasons which I'll give you later, the professor doesn't want us to see his face, but he has been bold enough to come along here this afternoon to explain some of the technicalities of the Strine language. Now, Professor, what started you on these researches into Strine?
Well, it all began with Emma Chiswick.
Emma Chiswick. Now, who's she?
Well, what happened was there was a visiting British authoress out here, Miss Monica Dickens.
Oh, yes.
And she was autographing her books as they were being sold to the public. And a woman handed her one and said, Emma Chiswick. Miss Dickens thought that this was the woman's name, as she naturally would, and she wrote to Emma Chiswick over her signature and handed it back. But the woman said, no, Emma Chiswick. Anyway, after some misunderstanding, it eventuated that this woman was actually speaking Strine. What she was saying was the Strine equivalent of how much is it?
Is it a difficult language to learn?
No, it's not a difficult language because so many words, so many Strine words are exactly the same as English words. It's just that they have a different meaning.
In what way do they have a different meaning? Can you give me an example of a word which in English has one meaning and in Strine has another one?
Well, a typical example is the word answer, A-N-S-W-E-R, answer. Only in Australia, of course, it's pronounced answer, answers. Well, I mean, everybody in Britain knows what an answer is. It's the reply to a question. But to Strines, answers are units of weight. 16 answers, 1 pound, 28 pounds, 1 quarter.
16 answers, 1 pound. Can you give me any other examples of these sort of words?
Yes, there's another one, ebb tide. Well, I'll perhaps write it down.
Yeah. Ebb tide.
E-double-B, ebb.
Yeah.
Ebb tide.
Yes, we all know what that means in English. What does it mean in Strine?
To Strines, that means hunger. For instance, you'd use it in the phrase, I just don't know what's the matter with me. I just got no ebb tide these days.
No ebb tide, no appetite.
That's right, no ebb tide.
What about writing the language down? Because apparently Australians have been speaking this language for years, but nobody has actually tried to write it.
Well, that's, no, they have been writing it, but as I say, this confusion has come about because so many words are exactly the same. For instance, ebb tide, or another one, Gunga Din, for instance. Now, everybody surely in Britain knows what Gunga Din is.
Gunga Din, just like Gunga Din. Gunga Din, huh?
That's right, yeah. To Strines, that means locked, locked out. It means you would say, I Gunga Din, the door's locked.
Gunga Din, can't get in. Yeah. Any more of those? They're very interesting.
Yes, I could go on indefinitely, but a very popular one in Australia is the phrase used by Australians when they're ordering a meal at a restaurant. That's eye level arch.
Eye level.
Level.
Arch.
Arch.
Eye level. Let me have a go at this one. Eye level is I'll have-all, is it?
Oh, yes, eye level arch plate of oysters. And
I'll have an arch plate of oysters. Yes. Any more? These are fascinating. Any songs? What about songs?
Yes, well, there's a famous song about the big horse cart major.
The big horse cart.
He's really the patron saint of young married couples.
The big horse cart major? Well, what is he? A sort of...
No, he's a song that everybody sings at Strine weddings. Actually, it's addressed to the big horse cart major, and it goes, big horse cart major mine.
Big horse cart major mine. Oh, yes, I know.
You know?
Indeed. Now, what do you think the future of this Strine language is? Is it spreading through the country, or is it dying out?
Well, I think it's fairly static. I don't think it's changed much. As you know, of course, this country was settled by the British a couple of 100 years ago, and I think the language hasn't changed much since then. So I think this Strine language that we all speak is really probably 18th century English.
Could you, just before we go, give us one example that we could leave up here for the English audience to try and work out the answer to? We won't give it to them, but I'll give it to the compere of our program and he can give them the answer at the end. This is good, pure Strine, is it? No, these are English words. Garbler, or nearly. Garbler mince.
It's typical Strine, English words with a different meaning.
Right, well, we'll leave the meaning of that one. I won't try and give it to anyone. Thank you very much indeed, Professor. There's just one thing. What do you do when you're not actually delving into the complexities of the Strine language?
Oh, well, I have hobbies, I suppose. I like just word botching, but usually I like simple pleasures, just like sin in the sun.
Sin in the sun. Well, you may think that sin in the sun is the reason for the professor not wanting us to see his face. Actually, that is not so. He doesn't want to show his face because most Australians still fondly think that they speak English, and if they heard that the professor was pushing Strine, they might think he was trying to force a foreign language on them, and we don't want any language riots here in Australia. Even his name is a pseudonym. Professor Afferbeck Lauder is, of course, Strine, as you may have guessed, for Professor Alphabetical Order. Bye-bye.